and it's supposed to be a new tactical game, similar to Squad from what I can see on the screenshots. And there's a sales pitch. And I looked at a sales pitch video, and I really don't like it. Let me show you a few things in the video. Also, I got the microphone. I get this weird issue with a microphone where I'm basically, if I don't keep it at the right distance, it sort of like swallows parts of the sentences I'm saying. But I'm not having any compressor on, so it's kind of weird. Okay, so let's go to the sales pitch video and listen to a few things.
Today marks a major moment for Bellum, and this is our biggest announcement yet. We're revealing some critical team additions, key features, our development roadmap, pre-sale information, and answering some of the most important questions.
Okay, this looks like a jump scare for bad weapon models. Like, I don't want to be mean, but the textures, they look so bad. It looks like it was ported from Armor 1 into Armor 2, into Armor 3, and then into Reforger. Like, that's running on Unreal Engine. It shouldn't look that bad for a sales pitch video.
We've seen from the community. But before we jump in, on behalf of the studio, thank you all so very much for your support and feedback so far. The response.
Now, the first-person animation is pretty good. Like, you see how the character is fumbling to get it into the magazine. Well, that's a really good animation.
To our first few devlogs has been absolutely incredible, and every.
Okay, it's sort of comical here, like how bad the third-person animation is. Like, it looks like Battlefield 2 running animation in third person from 2006. And it's kind of weird how it's combined with the enthusiastic speaking of the speaker in the video. I notice the level design looks a bit too primitive. Like, it looks like somebody took Unreal Engine, imported a height map, then used some terrain auto painting based on slope and elevation, and then had some road painting tool. You see how the grass is jagging into the road.
Member of our team has felt that energy and encouragement. We've read every comment, every message, and it really does mean the world to us. So let's start with a major update to the team behind Bellum. Operator Drewski and Wendigoon have joined Bellum as partners and investors. These aren't just familiar names, they're passionate fans of the genre who share our vision for immersive, tactical gameplay. Drewski is one of the longest standing and most recognized creators in the tactical FPS space, a pillar of the community whose deep experience spans everything from hardcore milsim to accessible tactical titles. Wendigoon, a longtime Tarkov enthusiast and co-writer of the Stalker Shadow of the Zone fan film, brings a unique narrative voice and is actively helping shape Bellum's world building and lore. Their experience with hardcore shooters and belief in this project brings fresh energy and momentum to what we're building.
So here's what I don't get about the marketing for Bellum. They say things like fresh energy and momentum. That sounds like some AI-generated speech. Because for me, it's irrelevant if a streamer supports the game, unless the streamer has some type of skill which he uses to develop the game. Let's say one of the streamers is a lead programmer or an animator or a texture artist. But they're not doing that. They show pretty low quality gameplay. And they show streamer support right at the beginning of the video. Which means they're counting on the support by streamers to make up for the otherwise unimpressive footage of the gameplay. Now, for comparison here, the screenshot you're looking at, that's from Gray Zone Warfare. I bought the game last year, and I don't know anything about the developers' private lives. I don't know if they have YouTube channels or not. The only thing I know is I looked at screenshots and gameplay videos, and I'm like, okay, that looks like a quality game, and I bought the game. So I find it odd that they're using big streamer names as the first advertising item in the sales pitch. To me, it looks like they're trying to compensate for some other shortcomings in the game. And here's the other thing: if a big streamer is shown as like sort of being shown as like somehow with their expertise supporting the game, like when somebody makes his money on YouTube, they're not going to go to programming and spend 8-9 hours a day trying to fix compiler errors. Okay, now look at the weapon model. That looks like before 2010, when people first started slapping photo textures on low poly models. Like, this looks extremely bad for a game in 2025. Now, for comparison, let's look at Gray Zone Warfare. See here? Really high poly quality and everything built to high standard. Let's look at Bellum.
tactical experience. We've made a conscious decision to limit publisher involvement, especially given how publishing deals have impacted other titles in the past. Our goal is to retain full creative control, stay true to our vision, and remain accountable to the people who matter most, the players.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case, because you're only accountable to yourself, and there's no recourse for somebody. Let's say that they screw up and the game doesn't fulfill the features in that, then there's no accountability for them to get any money back or something. And that's, I think, why they're avoiding it.
Naturally, you might be wondering, why not launch a Kickstarter or traditional crowdfunding campaign?
Yeah, I think the reason for that is what I just said. It's to avoid accountability. Because if you have a Kickstarter with stretch goals, then there's something that can be accounted for.
The answer is very simple. Bellum will be completed no matter what. Completion of this project doesn't depend on hitting crowdfunded milestones. This isn't a concept, it's a commitment.
Okay, what he just said is basically, trust me, bro. Do you see a contradiction? First he said, it will not depend on... Wait, I'm gonna remind it again.
The answer is very simple. Bellum will be completed no matter what.
Okay, will be completed no matter what?
Completion of this project doesn't depend on hitting crowdfunded milestones.
Which means we claim we will complete it no matter what, but we will not guarantee any milestones to which that can be accounted for.
This isn't a concept, it's a commitment. And honestly, we completely understand the hesitation around supporting early access tactical shooters in today's landscape.
You know, look at
We
the
completely understand the hesitation around...
it looks like some auto-painted Unreal terrain. See here, that riverbed, that auto-painted riverbed texture and the auto-placed rocks. And I think if you want to make high-quality landscapes, you have to go with a fine toothbrush-sized tool over every square meter of your landscape and hand-place most of the stuff. Some people might say that's not possible in a large-scale game. I think it's possible, and now I'm going to show you a game that actually does it. Okay, now I'm here in Reforger, and we're in Lemur. I think everybody loves Lemur. I think it's one of the most amazing places in the game. Or as I like to call this game, Main Froger, or Clamarch's land of missing APC periscopes. If you look at the screenshot here, on that screen, now I think I can say with great certainty that anything you see in the foreground here is hand-placed. Every bush, every tree, every street sign, and every object. And I think even most of the trees in the tree lines. Because it's always been a thing in Bohemia games. They go for the highest possible standard and quality in landscape design. I still think they use some automation. Like, for example, if you have a large forest, my guess is they probably define the outer tree lines by hand-placed trees and smaller bushes, and then the interior areas, they use some distribution mixture to do it. So later in the video, they talk about not wanting to use Steam, so they can put more money back into the development. And I'm wondering how much of the development money they have to pay as royalties to the streamers for having invested into the game and for promoting the game. Because to me it looks like the game quality is not where it should be. So they're hoping that the brand name of the streamers can compensate for it. So effectively players are paying for the brand name instead of for the underlying quality. And if you look at Bohemia Interactive, it's different. I'm not buying Bohemia games because of the fame from an unrelated activity from one of the developers. Bohemia's reputation is entirely built on the merits of the previous product. You just look at this, it's such a relief to load back into Reforger after looking at the sales pitch for Bellum. And it's actually weird for me, how bad it looks on the sales pitch, and they're still pushing it through. So my guess is they probably hired some development team that's not super experienced. Then they noticed, okay, this isn't going to work out really well. So let's put in some marketing, make some money off it, and see how it floats, and perhaps later upgrade it if it makes enough money. If it doesn't make enough money, they just let it float. I think the same thing is going to happen to the game called 83, which I made a video about a few weeks ago, where you have similar odd, it's actually pretty odd, how both of them have these really glaring quality issues from what's presented, but they're still trying to push it as a release to be soon.